Today we're going to talk about best laid plans. Hey, it's Care. Welcome to My Ticket to Lake. I have to tell you, I wanted to bring you this fantastic, super cool, super fun idea. All completed. It was going to be magnificent. It didn't turn out that way, but I'm going to bring it to you anyway, because I think, again, this channel is primarily for newbies, but I think everyone could use a dose of this. Like, we get so hard on ourselves because things don't work out the way we planned, and this is one of those things. And I could wait until I figure it out and get it perfect, but I don't know that that's going to happen anytime soon. So I wanted to bring you these ideas so that maybe you can have better luck with them than I had. I think, I'll still think it was a good idea. But as you saw in the thumbnail, we're going to be focusing on QR codes. I should probably put something plain underneath here. We see these everywhere. Just like those color patch codes, printer code patches, whatever, from a recent dive in. These little buggers are everywhere. And we see them so often, I think we don't see them anymore. We just ignore them. Some people don't know what they are. And for those, I'd like to just show you, because I think they're so fun. So you take your cell phone, your smartphone, and you go into your camera, and you just hover over one of those things, and it says, do you want to go there? And I say, sure, and I just tap on it, and it takes me to Chips and Sips. More fun to share. Lay's, Tostitos, Doritos, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Bubbly. All of these are, I'm going to put a bigger one in here. All these is a super fast way to get from magazine, newspaper, whatever sort of print medium you're looking at, mail, envelopes, they're everywhere, to get you from that piece of paper to their website in a heartbeat. This one is from Level Up. Free breakfast sandwich from Wendy's. I purposely cut off the information so I have no idea where they're going to take me, which is part of the beauty of today's topic. So now that we know what QR codes are, this is a QR code. You hover your phone over it, and it's super fast, takes you to a website. That's what a QR code is, and they are ubiquitous. And a long time ago, I had this idea, and I started collecting them. And at first, they all kind of seem alike. They all just sort of seem like the same old, same old. Most of them, for a long, long time, were all the same size. Yeah. But then they started getting a little bit more creative. Look how different that one looks compared to that one. They started getting more and more creative. This one has a little clip art in the middle. This one says take our bed quiz, so that's going to take me to some website that sells beds. They started making them in color, greens and all different kinds. Great big ones with neon signs that tell you, scan me. And then Somewhere here in my collection, I have teeny tiny ones. Even smaller than that. And that's pretty tiny. I'll have to find my teeny tiny ones in here. But even more recently, they're getting even more creative. Like this one is it's like a 60s, it's like a thought bubble in a cartoon, you know, like, but it's a flashback from the 60s, and so it's all, ooh, trippy. That's kind of fun. This one kind of shows you what to do with it. Whoops, phone's upside down. There we go. That's kind of fun. And check this one out. I don't know what it's for, but it's a fun QR code. So they're getting more and more creative with them, which is always fun. Maybe are these my teeny ones? They're pretty teeny, but not the little ones. I must have put those in I have a miniature kit going in another place. So the idea was, and still is, using these QR codes as an interactive portion of our junk journals. Because they're everywhere, they're easy to come by. And like me, you can cut off any information so you have no idea what they go to or where, or you can collect certain ones, like just travel if you're doing a travel journal, or just home decor if you're doing a cozy home book. And what I love about that is that the idea of gifting someone a junk journal with these hidden throughout. We've all got our phones right next to us all the time. So as someone's flipping through their beautiful book, they just pick up their phone and scan a QR code. And again, if it's like just a travel book, it'll take them to Jungle Larry's Safari in Florida, or it'll take them to Disney, or it'll take them to Ireland, or, oh, what fun it would be to just have that extra layer of interactivity. Because that's one of my very favorite parts about junk journaling is the untucking or the opening of an envelope to pull out a letter and open that up and put it back in, and finding beautiful little journal cards tucked in hidden pockets. And that's just part of the magic of these books. So for some reason, my brain connected these QR codes with these beautiful patterned papers that come in our junk mail every day. And if you're looking for patterned paper, look no further than your mail, because they're beautiful. They come in all different colors. I have this whole stack of blues, different blues. This is kind of a blue and gray. This is a nice bright blue. Two different pretty bright blues. Different patterns, obviously. I don't know if we saw that one or not. A lot of them come in black and white. Some of them read gray. And this one is gray. It's a greenish gray versus that's kind of black and white, kind of gray. But look how beautiful that is. I'd make an awesome cover for a little journal, you know? I'm always thinking miniature for some reason, but they're so beautiful. A friend of mine texted me the other day, and she said, I have some shoe boxes that I want to pretty up. I don't have any magazines. What can I use? And I said, open your junk mail. Because look at these patterns. Look how fun they are. So if you're ever at a loss for patterned paper, look no further. I mean, it's just awesome. And I have a tiny little stack of green. Look how fun that is. I'm not sure what this is, but it's all the same. Green. So, in my brain, the QR codes in this patterned paper were a fantastic combination. And I could see this intricate journal combining the two. And then I thought, I wanted to, this is too many ideas going at once. And so today's inspiration is really what not to do. And I found this at Dollar Tree. I don't know why, but it just seems like a really cool combo. Like, this is the perfect cover for something with this in it. Something that focuses on these in my brain. So this is just a super thin scarf, but I can double or triple it up and put it around this. This is a hanging file folder that I folded in half. Because that's going to be the cover eventually. I have to cut it down. Then I took all of these, and you know what I'm thinking? I'd like to just box all of this up and send it to Eva at Bohemian Crafting, because I know she could make this work. She's light years ahead of me as far as crafting skill. Oh, she's amazing. But what I decided to do was just put together the envelopes. Instead of cutting everything to size, I was just going to make it work. Again, because I liked that interactivity. So, and it's kind of Caged Fish Meander book inspired too. She's got a fantastic meander book that it opens all different ways and out and over, and you gotta flip it, and it's super, super fun. So I was thinking meander book, I was thinking QR codes, patterned paper, and interactivity all at once. And one day I just sat down and started gluing things together. So you see they open up, and I wanted to keep the windows, so if I want to tuck something back there I can. So I kept a lot of the windows. This opens up and then closes that way, but it also opens this way. And then here's a tuck, and here's a tuck. And I might have it upside down, because she's kind of crazy. Let's see if I flip it around, will that be right? Those are my extras. It's all my scraps. Oh, there's a teeny one. I glued that one on there. It's teeny. Yes, she was upside down. So let's try this again. So there's my front. Not sure how that happened or why, but it did, and it's just perfect and clean and wonderful. And then open. This is going to be inserted in here somehow. And I was gluing the QR codes in the window. So again, someone would take their phone over it and end up at 3 different places on the internet. This is a trifold. Again, it's not all put together yet, because, well, I'll tell you, working with this patterned paper and these QR codes, I worked on this for probably 3 hours one day, just gluing it together and trying to make it work and trimming things off so that they were neat. I ended up with the first migraine I've had in probably 20 years. So today's lesson, don't do this at home. Too many patterns. My head, I'm lucky I didn't go into an epileptic fit. My head hurts so bad the rest of the day. And this is the only thing I can attribute it to, was working with all of these different patterns. for so long. So on a small scale, like this little mini notebook with plain paper inside and a little QR code there as a tab, you know, that might be just enough. One or the other. I didn't get a headache from the QR codes, and I am going to separate these ideas and use the patterned paper as patterned paper, not as pages necessarily. And I'm going to use my QR codes as just little pops of interactivity throughout my journals. The stuff is all around us, and so we're never at a loss or a lack of supplies. This is just it's Scotch Expressions tape, and I wanted it to just be black and white except for these little pops of color. And I have these little, they're just everywhere, they're just all over the place. And these little notebooks, I think there are even one or two inside the little notebooks, you know. And every time they see one, they just pull it out, and I followed their please recycle. Yes, I did. Made a little pocket. A lot of flips. And it's so patterned. I don't know, but that's kind of fun. I'm not going to give up on this journal. I'm going to add some plain pages to give the eye a break. And I'm going to put blocks of plain stuff around it. So you still get a lot of the pattern, but it's going to be broken up. It's not going to be like a Rorschach test gone bad. It's a little too much, but I still like the idea. But I wanted to bring it to you. Here's a Home Depot orange one. I wanted to bring it to you unfinished, incomplete, because so often we just see the finished perfect product. Perfect, there's no such thing, but the finished, polished product, and it doesn't always work out the way we think it's going to. And I have to tell you, while I was figuring all this out, I learned a lot. And I kept having these light bulb moments and thinking, oh, well, that's a cool way to do that. Oh, well, that worked different than I thought, but I'll do that again. So I learned a lot. I'm going to stick these in here. I'm going to hinge them with washi tape. And this just has a little in out tuck like that, and again the windows, and I still really like the idea, but I wanted to warn you, especially if you're prone to migraines. Like I said, I haven't had one in years and years and years, but working with this crazy paper for hours on end gave me a migraine. But I am just jazzed about incorporating one more interactivity layer in our journals. So start collecting your little QR codes. And again, if you're doing a theme, sort them by theme. If you're doing a travel journal or a critters journal, because of course there's QR codes for dog food and pet treats, and in places like Chewy and those kind of places that sell pet supplies. And you may have to show them how it works once in a while. You know, just somebody ask, "What is this?" Or put a little note or a little picture like that pretty. Oh, I lost it. This thing. Put a little note, scan me. This is how it works, so that they know what to do with it. But anyway, that's what I have for you today. It is a dark, dark day here, even with all the lights on. It's kind of dark here. It looks like nighttime. I'm going to enjoy the storm that's brewing, I guess. Bits is snoring away. She's going to sleep through it. You all have a lovely, lovely crafty day. Get out your QR codes and your junk mail and start harvesting patterned paper for your junk journal adventure. We'll see you again here soon. I'm so glad you stopped by. My take at the lake. Out for now.